Man, we're almost at the finish line, man. This is about the saddest and sweetest part of the season. Towards the end,
Yeah,
it's all coming down to this last few weeks, and some awards already been given. David Raya already has Golden Gloves, I think both Champions League and Premier League.
yeah.
And just today, Football Writers Association gave Bruno the player of the season. Usually there is that, then there is the one from EPL. I think there's another one, but this one is usually very coveted, I think. And it was given to Bruno. Rice came second, I think, and then there is Haaland somewhere. I don't know what you think about it.
Now, I don't. When you look at it, there's there's I think the Writers' Trophy award, and then there's that the Professional Footballers Award.
Yeah,
Two names have been outstanding, and it has always looked like it will either go Declan Rice way or Bruno Fernandes. Uh, those have been the two names there, and I think that I would have been satisfied with any name. But being a Manchester United fan, I think I have to be happy that Bruno Fernandes took this one, because the conversation has been that if Arsenal win the league, uh, then Declan Rice has to take the PFA. But this award came before the league was won. So
yeah,
that clause that if Arsenal win the league does not exist at this time,
yeah,
and as long as Arsenal have not won the league, you have to look at what the players have achieved at individual level. And uh, I think as much as both players have been integral in their teams, you look at the numbers that Bruno Fernandes have put up on top of being a captain, and you try to imagine where Man United will have been without Bruno Fernandes,
yeah,
and also leaping from position 15 to position 3. And I know that's not a good scale to compare, because as much as Man United have moved 12 positions,
yeah,
Arsenal could only have moved one position anyway. So we cannot look at how many positions they have moved, because Arsenal was second. And
yeah,
with second, you can only move one position, which they have moved. And
yeah,
uh, United have moved 12. But you cannot rule out the numbers that Bruno Fernandes has put up in terms of assists and goals, and also versatility, having to play a 10 and having to come back and play an 8 under Ruben Amorim.
yeah.
So I think it was one of those 50-50s that can go anywhere. And the fact that Bruno took it, as a United fan, I welcome it.
Yeah, I can imagine it was close. Quite frankly, I would fancy one of my centre backs, maybe Gabriel or goalkeeper. And Rice also has been key. But on a larger scale, I think Bruno deserves it, considering how he's been integral, different positions, both in the table and in the in the pitch. They've had
True.
to play, yeah. So and he's come good. Uh, they might have dropped off from some cups, but uh, looking at the Premier League only and the impact on a club like Man United, I
Mm.
think, yeah, most of the stability they see now is based on their number 8, and quite rightly deserves the award, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while since a United player won it,
Yeah,
or
it's been
any other
forever.
player apart from City and Liverpool, anyway.
I don't remember the last United player to win it.
Yeah.
uh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I also don't remember the last Arsenal player to win it. But I want us to cross borders a bit, and there is chaos at Madrid camp. I mean,
Mm.
Madrid looks like they are falling apart, like completely. The escalation just seems to be getting worse, from 30 million signatures to fights all over the camp to, I mean, it's not looking good ahead of the classic. I saw Lewandowski and Chesney punching each other in training. Like, if your opponents are mocking you like that, man, and you're going to play them, it's not looking good at all.
No, no, that's not good.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it's
mean, I mean, yeah, uh-huh.
it's bad. It's bad. I think that happens when a club doesn't have leadership. Madrid are beginning to experience what United has been experiencing in the longest time. And this thing, when we've been seeing them at United, they looked like madness. But that shows what happens when there is a leadership void. Because small things started showing up, like when Alonso was there and he was telling players, go ahead and clap for the rivals, and Mbappe was telling them, you have to leave. Those small things, people brush them off, but they're
Yeah,
not normal.
yeah,
And, uh, for players reacting when they are being substituted, and players coming out and giving statements. Whenever players start giving statements in a club, you don't see that in stable clubs. I haven't seen a PSG player give a statement. No Arsenal player no has given a statement. No Barcelona player is giving a statement.
nonsense.
But how many you saw that at Manchester United so many times? When players
Yeah,
start coming out and giving statements, things are going wrong.
yeah,
So there has been lack of leadership in the club, and players have now been making individual decisions. And if you look at uh, the signatures, you mentioned the signatures, and you look at the situation of Kylian Mbappe, you
yeah.
know, logically, it makes sense that on your day off,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you can have some family time because these players don't really have family time.
Yeah,
But also, you have to understand the magnitude of the club that you represent. A club
yeah,
like Real Madrid is a club that wins every now and then when they go 2 years without winning, then the fans are suffering.
yeah,
And if the fans are suffering and they're paying you zero point 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 million in a week,
yeah,
and they have to be laughed at by Barcelona fans every now and
yeah,
then the club is in turmoil, the fans are suffering, having sleepless nights, and you post your pictures on vacation, then you are
yeah,
rubbing it in their face. So I think that there is also lack of leadership at that point because Mbappe would have been guided better. I don't think it was a bad decision for him to go out. I think it was a bad decision for him to let it get known, to let it get in the public domain. So that's what leads to these signatures. And as much as it might look unfair, I just have to understand the fans because when the when the results go south, it's the fans suffer, and it's the fans who are lifetime supporters of the club, not players. So I think he brought that to himself. I look,
yeah.
understand him going on vacation, but I think he should have kept it private.
Yeah, yeah, going on vacation. I think even Van Dijk had to come and give a statement about some Liverpool players that were seen out and in the just before the United game. And yeah, those things. Liverpool went out last year to Ibiza before the season
Mm.
was over, but they were winning.
They were winning.
It's not a
They were winning.
problem. Yeah, yeah, they were winning. When you're not winning, then that's a problem. But also the optics. Look at
Yeah,
Lamine Yamal. He's injured, but he's there with the team every
true.
day. And this is what it's about. So Mbappe being on holidays is his money. He's an adult, but you can just see how disconnected.
True.
How are you on holiday a week before El Clasico? And you
True.
know very well how important it is that the team stays together, not to lose, not to give Barca the league in their face. They can
True.
go win it in another place, but this is a very important game for Madrid fans. And
Yeah.
for you to just show that, oh, I'm on holiday and it's my time, and then you come and release a statement also. His team released a statement just to almost like you guys need to tone it down and things. That's it's. We said it a long time ago. This Mbappe and Vinicius is impossible for
Yeah.
starters. It's
Yeah.
impossible. They're both left wingers. It's impossible. So
Yeah, it was not
yeah,
smart.
yeah, one has to give. One
Yeah,
has
they
to
had to
give.
move one person. They had to move
Yeah,
one person. And
yeah,
sometimes I like Guardiola ruthlessness because if that team had Guardiola, he'd move one person. Uh,
yeah.
he moved Aguero. He moved Yaya Toure.
Eto.
moved Eto. He'll move
Yeah,
one person. Uh,
yeah,
Madrid should have taken that bold step. And even before you talk about the fight, it reminds me that uh, when United fans came out and complained about Rashford, people said that we were just being too sensitive. But Rashford could call out sick, and then he's in a club drinking. See,
in another
Mbappe,
country.
yeah, in another country. Mbappe is on a yacht, and there are 40 million. The signatures are 40 million. You have to leave.
Yeah,
And people thought United were overreacting when we said, Rashford, you cannot be doing this. You cannot call out sick, and you go clubbing. We cannot have a game. We cannot have a game in 2 days, and you posting pictures in New York. That's a different
yeah,
time. That's even a different time zone.
yeah,
You know, and
yeah,
and he had defenders. So those who are criticizing had to tone down. Like, okay, maybe we're overreacting, but it's an emotional sport. You
yeah,
retire at 38, and then you can do everything. But these
yeah,
15 years, you have just uh, uh, give your best. So I think with the big clubs, players need to be realistic, because you can get away from Espanyol, from Sevilla, from Southampton, even at Nottingham Forest. I saw Morgan Gibbs with stitches on the bench, with the like cheering the team.
yeah,
But when in these big teams, you are the face of the club, you're making big money. More so as the face of the club, you cannot just
yeah,
afford to do that. So he should have done
yeah,
better.
yeah.
But then there is also the issue of egos that
Yeah,
I don't know how they have mishandled that. Uh, I think the club should have shown ruthlessness by backing Alonso. Because if there are club fights, when Alonso pulls out Vinicius, and now Vinicius is acting this way and that way, and then the club now uh, fire Alonso, and then Vinicius is the only player who is not saying his goodbyes. He doesn't really have to, but when the whole team
yeah,
does that one,
yeah,
when the whole
yeah,
team does it and you choose not to, you have to avoid being the only one, because now you shift attention to yourself. And
yeah,
then with being booed and releasing statements, and then you said Mbappe's camp statement, and then Chouameni's statement, and then Valverde's statement. I just don't like a club where everybody's now giving a statement.
yeah, yeah. It's looking like shambles over there. They need to correct it. And brings me to this conversation I've had today, the whole day on a certain page. It was Mourinho versus Klopp, and okay, Mourinho is I don't know if it's going to happen. Do you think he's the one that can come in to solve the dressing room issue? Or what do you think? How do you think? Because from what is being said, he is the one that is coming in.
Yeah, because it's the only conversation that Madrid have started. They haven't had a
Yeah.
conversation with Klopp yet. And if they
Mm,
have a
right.
conversation with Mourinho and he accepts, they might move forward. In my opinion, both are good managers, and both managers can iron out the dressing room. They are all no-nonsense managers. So in terms of managing the dressing room, Mourinho is perfect. Klopp is perfect. Uh, I love Mourinho. I just felt like maybe Klopp still has more to offer in football, because I just don't know if Mourinho has been unlucky with teams. He got Manchester United that was not in the best shape. He got Spurs that was not a good team.
Yeah.
Uh, he got Fenerbahce that was not better than Galatasaray. And he's done fairly well in
Roma.
Benfica. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
Roma that was a poor team. And
Yeah.
he's done fairly well in Benfica, because Porto was already running away with it. And
Yeah.
the manager was fired because they were in a very bad position, although they were unbeaten, and they have still kept the unbeaten. And
Yeah.
he managed to get them out of the group stage in Champions League. So
Yeah.
that's been good. But you also have to consider that Portugal only has three good teams.
Yeah.
After those three, any manager can beat any other person, because these managers in mid-table Premier League teams, they have all been managing big teams in Portugal. So
Mm,
I think if you judge by Portugal, what he's doing in Benfica is good, but that spell at United, and he did well at United. He won two trophies, by the way. That spell at
yeah.
United,
Yeah.
Spurs, uh, Fenerbahce, and Roma. And at Roma, he also won a European trophy,
Yeah.
and he did fairly well. I just feel like it might have tainted him a little bit. But if you talk about dressing room management, he's good. He's also a
Yeah,
good man manager because players who have worked under him have talked about him as a very good man manager. I think
man age. Yeah.
man, I love Mourinho, and if
Yeah.
he's appointed at Madrid, I'll take that. I remember
Yeah,
sometimes
when
back.
Ancelotti left Everton to Madrid and he was a success.
Exactly.
In the
I remember there's
DNA,
a time we used to say that Mourinho might be the fix to PSG
yeah.
because of the egos that were there. And PSG have a good manager, and I can transfer
Yeah.
the same statement and say Mourinho can be a fix at Madrid.
Yeah.
However, if they put Mourinho and Klopp on the same table, that becomes a difficult choice for me.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, we got into it with those guys, and eventually, I don't know. I like both managers, but I think Klopp still has a little more juice in his battery, in my
Yeah, exactly,
opinion. Yeah,
exactly. Mm.
yeah. But yeah, Madrid. I don't know. We will see how the weekend goes. It will be very bad for the first time in the history of La Liga that one team lifts the league in the other's face. It will be very bad. Yeah.
Uh,
But I think they can get through that.
yeah, they should. They
Yeah.
should. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the only thing that they have to do this season. Madrid
Yeah.
only has one thing remaining this season to ensure that Barcelona does not win the trophy in their face.
Yeah.
There's no any other assignment they have remaining. They only
Yeah.
one have one assignment. Mm.
Hurricane looked heartbroken and he was in tears when they got knocked out of the Champions League. I don't know what that means for him and his legacy heading forward. I think he had hopes for Ballon d'Or and stuff like that. And in as much as he has scored 1 billion goals in Bundesliga, no one really cares, to be honest. And I don't know what you think about, did him crying mean know that he'll never be elevated to that elite level, even with this Bundesliga winning? Or do you think it was just like that moment out of the Champions League? Because he didn't cry in the finals. I don't remember him crying against
No,
Liverpool.
I think winning Champions League is not something that comes frequently, and at his age, and also the fact that Bayern have not really confirmed that he's going to stay.
Yeah,
Uh, Maybe this was the shot. This was
yeah,
the shot, and he knew that if Bayern face Arsenal in the finals, like it's not a game. When you're a Bayern player, you don't go into that game saying we are losing this game
yeah,
because it's not that Arsenal were clear favorites of Bayern. So, yeah, if you're a Bayern player, you're saying that if I beat PSG, then I have a good fighting chance against Arsenal, and then
yeah,
the World Cup is coming.
yeah,
But even if I don't win the World Cup and I manage to get something, I manage to get a win against Arsenal. Maybe the person that wins World Cup does not win. Uh, uh,
yeah. It's not
Maybe
among the contenders. Yeah,
yeah, not among the
yeah,
contenders,
yeah,
and then the Ballon d'Or is there. Uh,
yeah,
so I think if Harry Kane won this Champions League, he comes back to England and chases Alan Shearer's legacy. So I think that was a big opportunity missed for him. And now with the future uncertain, you know, very few people give too much credit to Bundesliga. Uh,
yeah,
at least he's won something, but it's still it has elevated him a little bit, but it doesn't
yeah,
put him in the conversations with the likes of Wayne Rooney.
yeah.
Uh, you win Champions League, and then you come back and catch Alan Shearer. Then you start talking about the best English striker, but he still remains behind the likes of Wayne Rooney at this point, and that's disappointing for him.
Do you think it would have been it would have been better for his legacy? Because I think people like Barcelona would still sign him if he had stayed in the Premier League for those 3 years, and for sure would have covered the goals. Then at around this age, he had somewhere like Barcelona or even the Bayern. Or yeah, like considering the 3 years, just honestly, it it's almost like down the drain. He was on a good trajectory to break the record for the PL record, and then he opted to take this chance to do this, and there was no Champions League. And because he looked really emotional, it looked like there was so much in his head, and I was just trying to think like, and all this that's happening with Harry Kane. I think I don't know. Yeah.
Now, if you look at it from that angle, I have to agree because if he caught up with Alan Shearer for these 3 years, that will be big.
Yeah.
The only thing is that people started talking about you have these goals, but you have won nothing, and that conversation of you've won nothing was getting too loud and too loud. Like, yo, you have the goals, but what have you won? Like, what have these goals achieved? So that conversation was beginning to get louder. So I think the pressure to get hands on something. I think if a team like Man City had come for him, he would have considered it
Yeah.
because he would have had the goals and would have put hands on something. So I really think that the biggest thing that pushed him uh, out of England was to win trophies. But at the same time, I like your first argument because Harry Kane never said no to Manchester United.
Mhm.
And Manchester United was not in a title winning form by that time. But he
Yeah.
never said no to Manchester United. It's
Yeah.
just that that fraud Eric Ten Hag decided to go for Hoyland only.
Oh,
Uh,
Holland. Yeah.
yeah, which was almost 90 million, and like 40 million more would have got a new Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and Harry Kane was open for that. So I have a feeling that the Alan Shearer record was also high on his list, and he might regret having left England because the Bundesliga trophies will not be very much respected in England,
No.
and then he might not catch up with Alan Shearer. But
Yeah.
I don't rule out him coming back to England and chasing those goals if a team like Barcelona doesn't come for him to replace Lewandowski.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wish him the best. Like, I hope he comes back and picks form for like a few more years and at least breaks the record. I mean, he left Tottenham, lifted a trophy, you know. And
Right.
I mean, you argue as you may, this Europa League is bigger than that Bundesliga, in my opinion. I think it is bigger than that Bundesliga. So, but anyway, we'll see how his career goes. If he wins the World Cup for England, that will be good for him.
True. True.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,